What does an 80s cult classic, an imaginary alien, and the celebration of the summer solstice all have in common? People melting. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Brett Hayes.
I am Steven with a PH, and this is Horror and the Hater.
I'm a lifelong horror fan, and when it started in high school, I was ravaged about it. But my parents, they wouldn't let me buy anything. I had to sneak it away from everybody, and it turned into this obsession. And I've been watching them almost daily for, I don't know, what are we at, 17, 18 years now? So what I decided was I was like, man, if I like it so much, why don't I just talk about it? And then why don't I screw somebody else that doesn't like it? So I picked my best friend and I said, hey, do you want to watch a bunch of these movies? He said
That's
no.
where I come in. Yeah, and here I am anyway. So yes, I said no, and yet here we are. I get to watch a bunch of horror movies for the foreseeable future. So thank you for that, Brett. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no problem, man.
the chance to indulge in this genre that I am not a fan of. No, but I'm really just like not a fan of it. I find it to be a corny genre. I find it to be a poorly acted genre, and just filled with a lot of irrationality that removes me, just completely destroys the suspension of disbelief in these scenarios, especially when they're trying to make it like a real thing. Those are the worst ones, where it's like, oh yeah, these are the real teenagers that are in this situation. Not even teenagers, this dumb man.
It's the suspension of disbelief that you have an issue with.
Yeah, and then it's
Okay.
just there's so much
Okay.
just corny stuff, overused stuff. But we'll get into it, I'm sure, as we
Sure.
progress through this thing. So,
Right now,
but
what I want to do is take a trip back to 1987.
1987. Where are we going in 1987?
Dude, we're going to Brooklyn.
Going
We're
to
in the
Brooklyn.
streets. We're watching all the homeless. They affectionately call them bums.
Bums.
And
Yes, that is. It's the more polite term.
dude, I'm telling you, the movie, if you haven't guessed it already, it's the original Street Trash from 1987 by director James Michael Moreau, who this was his only movie.
I can
So,
see why.
all right, man. Look, I'm not gonna like slam on this movie. This movie
I
doesn't take
will.
itself too seriously. It's not one of those like I would call it more of a popcorn flick if you don't get grossed out eating popcorn and watching people melt. But yeah, it did have a bunch of people go on to do other things in the industry, not really act much, but like there was like a hairstylist, you know, the director, even though he didn't direct another movie, ended up going and being like a pretty like big time camera operator and cinematographer in general. So hey
So what you're
man,
saying is this project was poison to the careers of everyone involved, much like the
okay.
venom that they ingested.
That's not true.
It took
So
their full framed potential and melted it down into you get behind the camera and you just
yeah,
twist it when we say so.
but not all. There are two notable actors I'd like to talk about. If you're familiar with trauma films, which this just doesn't make it into that category because it wasn't produced by the trauma people, but this would be like your sachet into one. Um, Robert Lawrence, he's the junkyard owner. He was in I think I looked up his thing. It was like 8 to 10 trauma movies.
The super fat guy.
The biggest named ones that he was in were The Toxic Avenger and Class of Nukem High. So if you're a trauma fan, you're gonna enjoy seeing Robert Lawrence there because he's always kind of over the top, always a greasy guy, and he does the greasy guy well. You got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, I mean he's made of grease. He's it's just yeah, a giant ball of grease. No, I mean for that character, he is
It's
perfect. You want to talk
pretty
about
good, right?
typecasting? That's yeah, it's
The
well done.
other
When you
the other actor is Tony Darrow. He is the like they never really say it, but he's the mobster boss. Um, he actually did mobster roles in Goodfellas and The Sopranos. So two guys, one obviously more than the other, went on to do some pretty big things. But yeah, man, I mean, there's two. There's two. Would you like to
We got a couple.
guess the budget?
The
Did you
budget
look
for
it
this
up?
film. I did not look it up,
Okay,
so
okay,
I didn't do any of the dissecting on these. The budget of this film, let's see here. You had at least, let's see, and this is in 1947 money. So are we accounting for
1887, dude.
inflation or 40? Yeah, whatever. Um, but this, so we're gonna say adjusting for inflation, they had probably $2,500 worth of ketchup, mayonnaise, and other colors of
Sure.
condiments. Um, I would say they had like at least $4,000 worth of latex.
Okay.
Um, and then all those junky cars. I mean, you could have got a junkyard for pretty cheap. Um, the build out on the clubhouse probably cost at least like two Little Caesars pizzas
Get
and like
on with
the
it. What's the
director's
budget?
cousin. Budget. All right, we're gonna go. We'll say 10 grand.
Jeez. Well, I found an estimate. There was nobody that had the real like budget, but it says $500,000.
$500,000
So the estimate said from 100,000 to 500,000.
in
But most,
'87.
yeah, I mean,
They spent six figures on this.
oh, halfway to seven, man.
Did they
Uh,
spend? Did they actually just buy all brand new cars and then like crush them down and create their own junkyard? Is that what the budget went into?
Burned them all. So there you go.
That's wow.
So
Okay.
would you like to
Gosh,
guess how much the movie made according to IMDb?
how much the movie made? Let's
Yeah,
go with like how much it made while it was in its theater run, basically.
I don't know that it went on
Curious.
a theater run or if it went on like a limited run. It didn't have
Okay.
much about it. So
Okay. Let's say it did 80 grand.
yeah. It did $466.
$466.
And that's what they said. I like that's what when I looked it up, I was like, that's not true. And I kept looking and I couldn't find any other figure. And I was like, all right,
I
we're
mean,
rolling
those ticket prices were
466.
cheaper back in the day.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
guess.
wow,
Okay, so I want to
that's
get into a
incredible.
little bit of the movie. I'll tell you the way that we'll run this is I'll tell you how I feel about the movie. I'll give you a quick rundown, and then our resident horror. Look, it's harsh to call him a hater, but he himself kind of calls himself a hater of the genre. He'll tell you his thoughts. I'll give my rating at the end of my spat, and you'll hear his at the end of his. But just for some like you know, what they have it rated on the three big sites I pay attention to. IMDb has it as a 5.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, I went with their audience score, which is 60%. And
Wow,
Letterboxd gave it a 3 out of 5.
this is why people shouldn't be allowed to vote.
All right. Anyway, black horror comedy. It is grungy and gross. It has all of the isms in it. Whatever ism you thought about when I said that, it's got it. I'll leave the quotes to Steven because I know that he wants a little stab at him. But the movie just starts out as homeless people walking around, living their lives. They're trying to get booze. They're trying to. Oh, it was the guy go to the grocery store and he's just stealing chicken, or they're gonna make like a meal for the trash
Yeah.
people. I call them trash people. There's no like homeless people are not that dirty compared to what I saw in that movie.
Yes.
They
No,
all live
these are unwashed.
Yeah, and they all live in a junkyard. And I guess they corner like a street too, because at the beginning of the movie, they're kind of like hanging around like a block of Brooklyn. But the rest of the movie, you kind of see more passing through and trying not to get caught by cops. And most of the scenes with the homeless bums or whatever are at the junkyard. So anyway, it starts out and there's a woman and a man just driving along in a car and you meet someone called the Rat King, who you come to find out has like this terrible PTSD from Vietnam. They try to like shoehorn this whole dramatic thing in it, which I gotta be honest, it lost me. It
Does
was
not
it
work.
was it was real bad, and I didn't feel bad for him at all. And some of his trauma was him just causing trauma to other people in Vietnam. So anyway, we'll scoot past that real quick, but he goes through and like there's people trying to wash these guys' car, and the guy pulls over and he sees him, and I think it's like a, does he see his dog tags or his tattoo?
I can't remember.
One or the other. He sees something that signifies that the guy served in Vietnam, and the guy in the car is like, "Oh, hey, like I actually do reserves down over here," and he's trying to make like small talk with him and give him a little money for cleaning his car. And this guy pretty much gets mad at him. I think he calls him like a part timer or something, which is something, when I was in the military, that's what you called reservists as a jab, a joke. He didn't think it was funny. I think he pulled him out of the car and smashed his face into the glass.
This dude
Um,
was ready to rage from the second zero. Like he had no intention of washing that man's windshield with anything other than his own face. So like there was, it didn't matter what that man said. He was gone. He was
yeah, it was
toast.
bad. So, women screaming, and then it pulls
It
over and
did
you get to
relieve
spend
him
time.
from having to listen to that woman and her
Right.
horrible New York accent. So
So then you get to spend time with the trash people, I like to call them. And you meet this kid who's running through there. He seems really nice. He's like helping people out, being nice and stuff like that. Gets to this liquor store, and the teller at the liquor store, they have a little bit of banner, and he finds out that they're selling discontinued liquor, and it's only $1 each. So he gets one. It's called Viper. And he gets one, he's walking out, and the rest of the movie, all that happens is he goes into this store, I think like 3 times maybe, and just gets the bottle stolen from him repeatedly. But everybody who steals the bottle melts because when they drink it, they just melt. And there's no real reason for why this happened. Obviously, that's the reason it's discontinued, I would imagine. But yeah, man, just my thoughts about the movie. Uh, I'm usually into cult classics. Uh, I think that's loosely used in the term of this movie because in the spaces that I run in and stuff, I hear, "Oh, this is such a cult classic. This is such." I didn't know about this movie until I just accidentally fell on it on Shudder. I watched it, and the first time I watched it, I liked it more. The second time, I was waiting for it to end. The rewatchability is pretty bad, but there are a couple things I do like about the movie. I think it's for what it is. It's shot pretty well. Um, Maybe that's it. Oh, the gore. The gore is good. It's kind of fun to just
they have
watch
some
that
pretty fun
happen.
effects, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate that the movie isn't serious at all. It doesn't take itself seriously until it gets to the Rat King doing his flashbacks. That's when it really kind of grates on me, and I'm like, oh man. Like, yeah, some backstory would be fun. Just one scene would be fine for the Rat King. And yeah, man, I'll be honest. I know people are not going to like it, and it's got these high scores, but it's going to go low in my book, man. Go
As it
ahead.
should. This
Tell
is
us
not a,
about your experience of Street Trash 1987.
oh my gosh. So I don't know what combination of drugs you need to be on to enjoy this movie. I didn't find it whenever I watch Street Trash. Um, I mean, it started off fun enough. The little chase scene through the city. He hops in a trash truck to escape, which is such a nice little homage to the title of the movie.
Sure.
Um, but then it just it really goes off the rails quick. And I think the thing that really bugged me was just the movie felt so discombobulated. Like it didn't it like there wasn't really a through line. There wasn't really any significant like conflict other than the cop and the Rat King. But even that was just so sparsely thrown in there in between, scenes of horrific um, that it really just you really couldn't get tied down onto like, okay, who are we rooting for in this thing?
Yeah.
Because at first you want to root for the kid with the hat guy. I didn't learn any of these people's names, by the way. That was another thing. I couldn't lock down who a character was. And so I just had we had hat guy, we had
Hmm.
like, they went to the junkyard, and then you had the Asian chick, and then you had Fatso, and then you had the war criminal, the Rat King himself, and then everyone else was just you had Gollum, the Rat King's
Yeah.
mistress. So Bolcut Gollum, she was a fun character. Um, yeah, I think I've seen that lady walking around the streets of Houston though. So
Okay.
watch watch out, my
Uh,
Houstonians out there.
art imitates life.
Art does imitate life, indeed.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess there is some redeeming quality of this movie.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
something to give. Uh, but yeah, it was really discombobulated. I would say the first melting scene was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Toilet humor is always great, but it was also a thing of where like I didn't understand where they were, because it's like, are we in New York? Are we in like the bombed out ruins of a European city after the Blitzkrieg? Like, what are we doing here?
Oh,
Um,
I
like
do want to. I think they do mention Brooklyn. Like I'm almost positive they
they
mention
probably do. I was probably just so lost that I
Brooklyn.
didn't retain any of it. Um,
Screw
but
where
yeah,
we are.
so
What's your name?
fun fun little whimsical chase through the street. Guy melts. There's beef with the different homeless factions. um yeah, and then you get it felt like the cop was almost shoehorned in, where he like almost didn't have a place in the movie at first, and then it's just like, okay, a random dude melts, so a cop has to take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
um and then the cop was just like, we're gonna solve this case with misogyny, and just just bitching at that lady. And yeah, and then once again just abruptly ends, and then we go to street trash Chinatown, um and
Okay.
or the junkyard. That's what I called it at first, because I was like, where'd all these Asian people come from? So yeah, the I will say the one of the coolest parts of the movie was I was actually pretty jealous of the junk fort. Like as a kid, I I would have killed for something that dope. If we could have a clubhouse that was the door was an old car, and you crawl
Oh
in and
yeah.
it's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no. I
That would
I
have been
would have lived
awesome.
in that thing. So I could understand that.
What
But
did
then
you
yeah,
like
yeah,
about the
go ahead.
movie, dude? What did you like about it?
What did I
Let me hear
like
all
about it?
the really good things about this movie.
Okay. The let's see. What were so there were some great quotes in there that,
Okay.
taken completely out of context, are just fun to say.
Okay.
Like when Big Fatso is just like, "I'll fart in your face, you ugly." Um, that was fun, and really just came out of nowhere. Uh, but there's just so much racism in the first hour, and then first half hour. We're not even 30 minutes into the movie,
Right.
and yeah, it's just like all kinds of crazy stuff. They cap it off by, yeah, having the black guy go on a shoplifting spree.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that first little introduction to all of our main whimsical characters, that's when we get the Vietnam like war crime story hour, uh and then the fever dream with the vampire Viet Cong. That was a fun that legitimately made me laugh out loud.
Okay.
Whenever the
Okay.
vampire Viet Cong came up, I legitimately laughed out loud. I hope that wasn't meant to be a serious moment that was supposed to really strike fear in the hearts of viewers at home.
No.
If that was this man's vision for it, um, he at least can rest easy knowing that he brought me a little bit uh, of brief joy.
Yeah.
Um, Oh yeah, and then he wakes up sleepwalking and just throws a live grenade into the junkyard.
You didn't like
That
that part?
was no,
Who's
like
on
I
watch?
was I was just like, okay, that's how we respond to fever dreams. How many of those
Yeah.
grenades do you have, man? And we're like, where did you get them? And you're just like, you can't have a ton of them, and like you're just chucking them. I would use them more strategically. That's just me.
Boy, you're talking about the Rat King. He's got
Yeah.
whatever he wants. A
Okay.
muse, uh, people to worship him.
But yeah, and then I will say I had a lot of laughter at the Vampire Viet Cong, and that was fun. And then it immediately turned to the most horrifying part of this movie, which was the lady that he saves from the prison camp, thanking him by sucking on his nipples.
Dude, you're not allowed to kink shame the Rat King.
Um, I'm just saying I don't want to be involved. I don't think I need to be involved.
Okay.
That's just me. But
It's called it's called art. You wouldn't get it.
okay, that's cool. Cool. So then this wonderful piece of art transitions from some seemingly consensual stuff to a drunk lady stumbling on the street, picked up by our lovely miscreant Hat Boy,
Uh,
and she immediately is just ready to fuck, like just ready to go, wants to wants to get it on, and so he essentially kidnaps her, um,
yes. Yeah.
and then takes her to his tire fort.
The
Um,
cool tire fort.
cool tire fort takes
Yeah.
her to his extremely cool tire fort that would be a big draw for ladies
Right.
in any normal situation.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be intoxicated. You
Hmm.
bring a bitch up to that thing, and she's just like, okay, I didn't know who we were dealing with here. It's freaking. Um, but it immediately devolves into rape. Uh,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
vicious gang rape, probably murder. I think that woman was.
She
I didn't
did.
see it.
She got
She
murdered.
died. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so immediately raped her by a horde of zombie homeless street trash. Uh, that was a little bit disturbing. There was a little bit just too much in this movie for my liking. I mean, a little rape, I get
Yeah.
it, but
Oh no.
they were pretty heavy-handed with the rape.
Yeah, the
And
SA
also,
stuff is heavy
yeah,
in this movie and in lots of like trauma films in general. I know this isn't a trauma film, but
right,
they all carry like the same. Let's be as gross and nasty as we can.
right. Just push all the buttons. I get
Right.
it for people that are into that stuff.
Hmm.
It did weird me out that she was like, "I'm gonna report this rape to the Better Business Bureau," uh, and
Pretty good.
that was how she's gonna solve this problem.
Right.
We're gonna go to the Better Business Bureau. And then he retorts with, "Hey, if you let me, I'll give you a $5 raise." So,
That's
you
true.
know, but yeah, it was it there were I mean there were a couple good parts. It was yeah.
Okay.
Another great line though, another great quote. I read like old people fuck. We can go through some of the other great quotes that I liked.
Okay.
Um, wouldn't you rather die in combat than rot in jail? That was kind of a hard
That
line.
was good.
That was that was good. And then he proceeded uh to just yeah, murder that guy.
Oh,
Oh, it's
lights
party
freaking
Brett
out.
over there.
Uh, lights going crazy.
All right, yeah. Um oh, and then whenever they're talking about the girl that washed up, uh they said the third from the last had syphilis. So I don't know how they're able to parse out that in the I guess detective work was much more advanced.
Well,
Brooklyn.
that guy was a really good detective.
Uh, yeah, until he got murdered by the Rat King.
Yeah. Like so
That
many
was
other unfortunate souls.
so many other unfortunate souls. Um, Yeah, it is kind of ironic though that this cop, loves a crotch shot. It's his favorite attack method.
Yes.
Um, and it is ultimately his demise. So, props to the subtle foreshadowing throughout this movie.
You will die by the crotch.
Yes, you live by the crotch, you die by the crotch.
It's a
Is
cold
what I
world.
always say. But yeah, and then I think probably uh, one of one of the best lines that really encapsulates this movie was towards the end, and it's "Do what you want to Bert. He's black. Nobody's gonna give a shit about him."
So messed up.
That's that's a line from the movie,
I know.
and it
And then
it
you,
almost works
it
on the
almost
guy.
works.
Yeah, but in ultimately he is taken out by
Right?
the uh the expired fizzy lifting drink and just
Just please don't take my Viper.
yeah, he really fools that guy with that one.
Yeah, he would have got
Yep.
me too.
And then yeah, the final, everybody melts, and then we have the big final battle
Yeah.
with with the Rat King. Um that chase scene was a little bit. Also, how old is that kid? Because that
Oh, his
Asian
little
lady
brother.
takes him in real quick.
I don't know. He looks like he's probably 15? 15?
Okay. We're
Yeah.
I mean,
It goes
I
both
mean this
ways in
is
this movie.
this is back in a time when I guess Porky's was one of the number one comedies in the nation,
That's
so
true. That's true.
yeah, so but we do get to see Asian tits, so that was a nice reprieve from the melting and from bowl cut Gollum.
Okay.
But then he gets cock blocked by the Rat King, and now he's in the battle of his life, and him as this young spry man can't seem to outrun this lumbering, injured, PTSD riddled war veteran. Um, Yeah, and then the I will say that they did have a cool final death thing. The tanker that I
Yeah.
at this point suspension of disbelief is non-existent, so we're not caring about that.
Uh-huh.
We're here for fun. So the rocket tanker that went right directly through his neck,
Yeah.
um, that was a cool effect. I imagine that is
Yeah.
probably where roughly $150,000 worth of the budget went. That prosthetic.
You know
If
what?
they if
All
they
worth
spent
it
half a
though.
million dollars on this movie, I'm guessing that scene probably ate up a
Okay.
solid 20 to 30%.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, with all that being said, you know what? I'm giving Street Trash 1987 1.5, man. And I wish I could give it more. My first like not review, but my first like thoughts when I watched it for the first, it was probably like 3 years ago. Was was a 2. So it's not dropped that much, but I can't give it any more than that. There are some fun things about it. It doesn't take itself seriously. But I can't rewatch the movie. So that's where I'm at. What are you at?
Yeah, I am. I think we said we're at a 1.5. Yeah, this movie is
All
like
right.
I'm not gonna be. I don't want to come out swinging hard on the first episode and just completely crush things, but this one was bad. And to everyone that wants to rewatch this movie, in the words of Michael Jordan, stop it. Get help.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
what are you? Yeah, no. It's once again, I don't know the combination of drugs you need to be on. If you know, put it in the comments. Maybe we'll give it a second shot.
if it didn't have so much of like the SA stuff in there, this is one of those movies that I could imagine walking into like, well, I went to this like horror store, it had a bunch of costumes, memorabilia, stuff like that in LA. And I would imagine that would be on like their TVs in there and stuff. But yeah, that's really the only time I could think that I would ever be okay to see it again. Like if I looked up at a TV and I just saw someone melting, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was sick," and then I would keep watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Even the scene with the like here's the thing. I'm sure that there's a way to do a scene of a severed dick being thrown about across a junkyard, playing keep away from said dick's owner. I'm sure there's a way to do that good. But when you just put like the Benny Hill music in it, like
oh yeah,
you're just kind of putting a hat on a hat at that point.
I get it. But I could see why people would like the movie. I just, unfortunately for me, it's not here, not
Yeah.
here. So with that being said, we're gonna go to a newer movie by the same name. It was done by Brian Kruger of Fried Berry. If you haven't seen Fried Berry, it's got a lot of the same cast of Street Trash 2024. Um, and fortunately for them, Fried Berry, the man who plays it, he's got a look to him, and it's like, oh crap, man, that guy's like, he's off his rocker. And he's like the perfect casting for somebody just like in the background, like scaring kids and stuff. And like a big banner of say no to drugs, like he's perfect for it. Uh, They do that in Street Trash 2024. They pull him out of the lead role, they put him in the background, and I like him a lot more in this movie. The other characters that were in Fried Berry, they step to the forefront. And look, there wasn't anybody that I would really say stood out for me. The main guy, Ronald, he was pretty good. Most of the movie was made, I think it was made in South Africa by like South African actors and stuff like that, from stage actors to people who had actually been in TV before. So, uh, with that being said, even though those people really didn't go on to do a ton, or haven't yet at least, I thought the acting was a full step above the original movie. And if you walk into going to see this movie and being like, man, I don't know, like if you really liked the first Street Trash, you might not like this movie because it is not the same movie. It is completely different. They have elements from the original, but yeah, this one's not it. So what do you think the budget was?
For this one, this is one where like I could believe them having a $500,000 budget because
Okay,
it looked like they spent a lot more on the effects and they like the cinematography on this one was actually like it was well
really good.
shot. Like
Yeah.
the movie aesthetically like actually looked like it looked really good. I mean, it's it's a modern done movie. We should have the technology, but yeah, I would believe that they
Mm.
spent 500,000.
Okay, a million. You're off by a half million again. but
Okay.
but no, I
Wow.
mean, yeah, it's $1 million movie, and
Yeah.
I can't
I mean,
quiz you on what it
inflation's a
made.
bitch, so
It went
it's
straight to digital, so to streaming services and stuff like that. Um, Getting into the movie though, all systems are a go in this movie. It's not like the lackadaisical start of the original. They're like experimenting on a guy. It opens straight up to that. He's kind of like talking to the scientist or doctor, what have you, that's in there, and he injects him with something, and he's like, "Oh, is this supposed to feel itchy?" And then immediately he just melts, and you're like, "What?" And from there, it shoots like a TV screen, and it's like, oh, middle class is falling, the rich are getting richer, and then we need lithium batteries because I guess lithium batteries have become gold.
who knew?
From there, you see like homeless people being rounded up. So you shoot in, and it's on Ronald, and a cop sees him. He's trying to like get this girl away from the pack of people, and he starts getting chased. And as he's getting chased, he's running down all these streets and all these alleys. The cops almost catching him every time. And at one point, he just like slams a brick of drugs to the face, gets like super speed and takes off. The cop catches him again. He slams the brick of drugs into his face. Cop gets pops a boner. And then, he runs away and you meet the trash gang. I call them the trash gang in this movie.
That's an
Um,
appropriate name for them.
dude, it's a wild first 10 minutes. And like you meet
Yeah.
everybody. The characters they're fun. Some of them are actually funny, some of them are something. The guy who played Fried Barry is now named Two Bit, and he has an imaginary alien, or what we think is imaginary alien. He's obviously still Fried Barry to some extent. So
He looked
he's the
fried,
only,
that's for sure.
yeah, and he's the only one that sees this thing. So you know, but like you said, the practical effects in this one really good. I liked the way everybody melted or I guess more like people did melt in this movie. More people exploded in this movie.
There was much more
Um,
of that. I think they took there were a couple you saw in the first movie, some of the little like latex bubble necks coming up and popping
yeah,
and doing that effect. They use that a lot more, I feel like in 24, and there was much more. It was a much more theatrical melting slash exploding thing. Which honestly,
absolutely.
if you're trying to get rid of a homeless population, this seems like it's really inefficient because like it just makes a mess. If you're trying
Uh,
to clean up the streets, what are we doing?
well, they're in cages that the general pop doesn't see. So
I mean, I guess, but
does that make it better?
those Dalek robot little floaty things, they just go shoot in the streets.
I know. And it's like they're trying to find the most painful way to get rid of the homeless. They're like, we really
Really,
hate
they're
these
just like, hey,
guys.
we want to make them suffer.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Um,
seems kind of par for the course for
yeah. Continuing
how.
though, like I said earlier, acting is good. The writing's offbeat, but it is funny. It's not clever, but it's funny. Sometimes you can tell that the acting is definitely directed to be like overdo this right now and then pull back in the next moment. And yeah, film looks good overall. So what say you, man? What is it about? What do you like? What do you dislike? How are you
All
gonna
right,
hate
here's the
on
thing.
something good?
This
National
one was
treasure.
much more watchable.
Okay,
It may have been because it was a more modern looking movie and maybe the bright lights just keep my ADHD in check a little bit more. I don't know.
sure.
But it also had like a story and a through line and like
Yes.
beats to the movie, and there's an antagonist um that was clear. Like you had things to root for.
Yeah,
There was the whole team, the Ocean's 11 aspect of it, where everybody's got their jobs and they're moving
yeah.
in. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of the same. The While it did have a through line, it just didn't really have a through line that grabbed me. And then they would try to like slow it down and like get real serious. Like it was just a real hard shift whenever they're going from this little blue alien just like waving his dangling around to these people like talking about their trauma. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we get it. You're homeless. Like, what are we doing? You guys got bigger
Right.
things going on.
Yeah.
Um, this one was also full of some good quotes. I'm not gay, but $50 is $50. That one, was
Classic.
yeah, you got to stop sucking the dick of the man sometime. Uh, that's one that, I think more people should really take that advice.
Definitely.
Uh, the smell of ass is making me hungry. I'll, I'll give you one guess as to which character that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. And then also, I will say the Rat King in this one was just very unimpressive. It's like I wasn't afraid of the Rat King. I was afraid of the Gimp, kinda, but
Yeah.
only when he was a Gimp. When he was the new Rat King, immediately I was just like, oh, this guy, whatever.
How did he
This guy's
assume
not
power?
this guy's not a grizzled Vietnam veteran that
Right.
has decades of built up PTSD and hatred of
Or hand grenades.
or hand grenades. I didn't see a single hand grenade with this dude.
Right.
What did he have? He had a bunch of big muscly black dudes that would like go do shit for him.
Sure.
And that was it. After that, what are you? Those dudes could get melted immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a more fun movie just because you kind of could follow it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think it also still falls in the category of like, huh, not gonna watch that one again.
You would never watch it again? You'd never give it a second chance?
I don't know, man.
You
It
don't think
would.
so?
I really don't think so.
I mean, it's fair. I like it's definitely it was weird because I went and looked it up. I've got the scores for this one too. IMDb got a 4.5 out of 10. So a good bit lower than the original. Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 60% on the critic score, but there's not enough audience that has scored the movie.
Hmm.
So it's the same on that score. And then Letterbox is 2.5 out of 5. So it's actually rated a lot lower than the original, and I don't know why. Uh, because this one has heart
Yeah,
and the other one does not.
and that's the other thing with this one. I will say, like, just to give this movie its flowers. You know, you have the you just have like a an actual array of characters that you can kind of connect with. Did I learn any of their names? No. But did I feel more connected to them than the other junkyard people? I was like, yeah, okay. You got this the big Jewish guy that thinks every story is about pedophilia.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, here's the thing with Pinocchio, he really wasn't far off.
Right.
He might not be far off with a lot of those things. You know, you got the new hat guy in this one who's older, but you can
Yeah,
tell he still has that young jovial spirit. He never truly grew up.
true.
Um, and then you know, you got the little Wonder Twins. I don't even remember their names, but they were a fun little duo. And then, you know, Schizo Rick Sanchez is back
Two
there
bit,
in the
dude.
background with Two Bit, I guess is
Two
what
bit.
he's named.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just saw him immediately, and I was like, schizophrenic Rick Sanchez. So
Well, okay. Well, dude, with that being said, my score's coming in, man. It's a 3.5, dude. I love this movie. I recommend this movie. I think it's a fun movie to watch. I believe, okay, if you've seen Fried Berry, you've seen some of the effects that they kind of go for in this, or the way it's shot and stuff. Obviously, it's the same director. But I think the movie just has a certain look to it that I haven't really seen. It's really colorful. Um, Man, like the characters are likable. There's someone to root for. Like you said about it, there's a story to actually follow. I Something about like the people exploding is a little bit more gruesome and shocking, and it's kind of
it's a
fun,
little bit more
man.
fun.
So I would turn this on in the background and just leave it playing throughout the day. So that's how I feel about this movie. What do you feel, man?
This one's moving on up, but we're gonna go with 2 stars. I still don't think I'd
Okay.
watch it again, but
Okay.
like it in the right situation, I could maybe be persuaded in the proper group. But
Oh, group
but
activity
yeah,
only.
if this is the kind of thing you're into, you're gonna enjoy this one. If you have to pick between the two, go with
Oh
this
yeah.
one
Yeah, that's what
for
I'm saying
sure.
too, man. I'm sorry for purists, the 80s purists. I love 80s horror movies, and we'll get into more as this podcast goes along. But that was not made for me. I tried, man. I gave it its flowers, and I just couldn't smell them. So,
Yeah.
dude,
Well, there we go.
yeah, man. So the next movie, if you didn't get it from the intro, it's Midsummer. And man, we're getting close to summer, so I was like, hey, this will be a fun one to do. It is completely different than the other two. Uh, we'll
Very
see if
different from the other two.
right. We'll see if somebody who doesn't like horror movies likes this kind of horror movie. Um, and so let's get welcome in this unsettling movie taking place just as the summer solstice begins. It's a weird entry into the horror genre, mostly because it's super bright. You know, like I, I don't know, like when I think of scary movies or horror movies, I'm thinking, oh yeah, at 8 p.m., well, on 6 p.m. on a school night or a work night, that I'm gonna turn
I will just
on.
say that was one of my favorite things about the movie was how
Yeah,
they were able to do horror with such brightness. That was one of the things I think they did the best.
yeah. And
Anyway,
so
continue.
I understand there's a the guy who directed this, Ari Aster. Some people love him, some people hate him. They always have this stigma of the elevated horror or highbrow or whatever, which that also disgusts me in most settings. I'm not a big fan of most of his movies, but if you don't know who Ari Aster is, he did Hereditary, he did Beau is Afraid. His newest or most recent movie is Begonia. Um, so yeah, he's divisive, and most of his work doesn't work for me. But man, this one was a home run for me. There's a lot of really good actors in this movie, but my notables are Florence Pugh. She was really great. She's Black Widow. She's in Oppenheimer, a little movie called Oppenheimer. She brings it here, even through the ugly crying. No one wants to hear ugly crying. You don't want to hear it in this movie, and she goes for it. So,
Like this is in the first 3 minutes,
oh,
you get one of the worst ugly cries, which that's a horrifying sound. Is
oh yeah.
like that's more horrifying than like a lot of monster screams. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
you could have
telling
the
you, it's
howl
good.
of a chupacabra just coming over the Mexican plains, and I would be like, yeah, no, I'll go that way rather than going to whatever the
Yeah.
fuck she was making.
And
So
the next
bravo on
person I
that.
want to bring up isn't I wouldn't say is the second best in the movie, but I think it would be a sin to pass him over, is Will Poulter from We're the Millers. I liked him a lot in the Black Mirror movie Bandersnatch. It's like a choose your own adventure movie, really fun. And it's always good to see him. So he
Yeah,
did good
he
for
plays
the
a
part
really
that they
good
gave
dumb
him.
best friend.
Yeah. He plays a believable best friend that's just there to like drink and meet women. You know what I
Yeah, he's
mean?
just
Like,
there for the vibes. We all have
yeah,
that friend in our group, and honestly, like it wouldn't be the group without him. Yeah, does he
absolutely.
get into some crazy antics sometimes? Does
Yeah.
sometimes maybe he pees on a super significant ceremonial tree? Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's gonna happen.
he's gonna he's gonna make it a party.
Do you want to guess the budget for this movie?
Um, so that's the thing. This is gonna be a game that I'm terribly bad at because
Sure.
I'm just
You just want me to
not
tell
good
you
with
the budget for the
movie
movie?
budgets.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me the budget for the movie.
Budget for the movie was $9 million.
$9 million. See, I was like, with this one, we're gonna creep up closer to 10 because
Right.
this is
I mean,
this
as
is a
a
movie
horror
that
movie,
deserves it.
that's kind of, I mean, it's still a good
What
amount for a
is
horror movie.
what is the average horror movie cost?
Man, I couldn't tell you that, but I can tell you like the big time horror movies, like well, the
Yeah,
ones that they know that they're gonna get fans aren't that don't
right.
like horror movies, like that's like $100 million horror movie.
Okay.
Probably more than that.
You're
You
getting up
know,
to like Marvel levels with that shit.
right. Which doesn't
But here's the
happen.
thing. Doing this with 10 mil, well done. Like,
Pretty good. Yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, like, if you think
I
about
would
it,
imagine they made more than 10 mil.
horror movies are easy for studios to pump out because on average it's cheaper to make. It's like, well, not cheaper than like a rom-com, but it's cheaper to make like an entertaining horror movie, and then you almost always get to cash a check at the end of it. So
Yeah.
the earnings for this one was 48 million. So
Hey,
they did well. Um, we'll go ahead and go through what their ratings are right now. They got a 7.1 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, the audience scores a 63. Letterboxd, uh, 3.7 out of 5. Um, this movie's wild. I can't say enough about like watching a horror movie. We're not really watching horror movies to see great actors or anything, but it is a breath of fresh air when you get into a movie that has a good story, that has good actors in it and that's just tense. Like
I
this
learned
story
their
keeps it
names.
up, man.
Like, yeah,
You're waiting for something to happen and it's in the daylight and you're like, what the heck is going on here, man?
you get to look at these
It's
people in the face.
yeah, and it executes the message, that they're trying to convey. The gore, while not like a ton of gore in the movie, every piece that had it was really good, except for the ending, where they're dragging bodies into the barn, and it absolutely looks like uh, just big rubber masks of people, and I'm like, oh, you didn't do all that, did you? Like you didn't fillet a full person and stuff them with hay, did you?
No,
Maybe they did.
what I took from that scene was that they literally, because I felt like they just skinned his face and then
Hmm.
just like took his face off.
Hmm.
And because the one dude was wearing his face when the black dude dies,
Right.
when Josh dies. I'm sorry, I learned their names, but
Oh,
whenever
he's
Josh dies,
really good in
um,
the what is it called? The
he's
Good
wearing
Place.
Mark's face.
Mm,
Yeah, so whenever they're in the room with the books, we'll call it the library. But whenever they were in there, I think he's just wearing his face. So
yeah.
what I saw was like they just like put the face part and took that in there and then just had like a scarecrow of stuffed hay.
Okay.
So
All
I don't
right,
think it
that's
was his
fine.
whole body.
I do want to shout out to the chicken coop scene. You're
The
talking about
chicken coop
gore?
scene.
Dude. That was wild. The guy just
Ooh.
butterflied out.
That's actually so I found out that's actually based on an actual like Viking like like they would do that shit where
Oh,
they would like flay them and pull their lungs out of their body.
that
Um,
is terrifying.
so that's that's fun historical lore being thrown into this
That's
piece
real
of art.
life.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest gripe with this movie, and I know it kind of had to, it sets it up. I like this movie a lot. And I wouldn't even say it is my biggest gripe. It's not a big gripe. It is a long movie. It is almost 3 hours, and it is definitely artsy. It's got that highbrow, and I know I wouldn't usually be interested in it, but it's great. It is worth the 3 hours if you got the time and you want to see something different. A lot like that last movie we talked about and reviewed. It is a very different horror movie, and I don't have like enough great things to say about it, honestly. So,
There's
um,
I agree. Like one of my notes is another long transition scene. And it just seemed like we were all like they were my theater teacher used to say you need to earn your pauses. And while this
sure.
movie earns a lot,
Hmm.
like there were some times where they were really hamming it up on like, okay, now we're gonna go upside down and watch the car on the road, and now we're gonna look at the sign upside down because it says something in
Right.
Swedish. You know, going down another back road. There's
Hmm.
less civilization, and then we're coming in here, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, just get to the party. Like, what are we doing?
I know.
So like they legitimately could have shaved a solid 20 minutes off of this movie and just taking some of those scenes and trimming them up a little bit, and just trimming up transitions, and I don't think it would have taken anything away from the movie. That's just
Yeah.
me. But yeah, there were some of those where it just drags
Sure,
for a
man. And again, it's not like a huge gripe or anything. It is daunting when I sat down because I've seen the movie. This is my third time seeing it. And I was like, man, why haven't I watched this movie more? I remember really liking it every time I saw it. And then as I go to click on it, I bought it on Amazon Prime. And as I go to click on it, I'm like,
you see where it says two
three
hours, 37
hours?
minutes.
I
Yeah.
is it? I thought it was longer than that. I was just sitting there like, oh my goodness, this is too much. But I watched it. I loved it. Whatever. Uh, is there anything else you want to say about the movie? You want to jump in on it?
Yeah, I mean, so this is one that like I really did enjoy. And like if the horror genre was this, like this is something I could completely get behind. So, while I do have the gripes about the long drawn out transitions and just kind of hanging on stuff a little bit more than they needed to. I think it was a fantastic movie. This is one that I'll definitely watch again at some point. Um, and yeah, and I like that that they did just go to the acting, like you said, was really really good. They went to great lengths to actually build relationships with these characters,
Hmm.
um, and then to also just like put people into relatable situations. Like Christian's a douche, but I did kind of feel bad for him at multiple parts throughout this movie.
Yeah,
Like the dude kind of gets it, like he kind of just gets the raw end of the deal at all
yeah,
of it. I mean,
yeah.
he's a young dude. He's just trying, he wants to have a fun relationship, and this relationship with his girlfriend that's always freaking out about her bipolar sister is not that fun. He's been wanting to cut it off. He's ready to cut it off. He's just working up the nerve to do it because deep down, I think he might be a good guy where he doesn't really want to hurt this girl. And like,
Well,
you know, he's just he's trying to go about it the right way. And then what happened? Murder suicide.
well,
And
he
you can't break
does.
up with a girl after a murder
Right.
suicide.
Well, he does love her because before she calls to tell him that ends up happening, he's at the bar with his buddies, and he's like, I like her, and what if this becomes like the biggest mistake of my life, leaving her right now? She's just
Yeah.
going through a
He
tough
does have
time.
questions about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
feel
so
for him.
So then this is this man's story basically is he is locked into this shitty relationship, gets further locked into it because now if he abandons this girl, what if she kills herself? What if that's just going to be bad. So you can't have that on your conscience as well. Then oh my gosh, now I have to take this woman to Sweden with me, which is just going to mess up the bro dynamic of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So cool, we're going to Sweden now. And then, oh, yeah, it's also her birthday. So this trip now has to also be about her birthday. And then there's all these other crazy Swedish bitches here. And this redhead chick is now using like some sacred vaginal magic to make this dude fall in love with her. And then the cheating that he does is under the heavy influence of
True.
some unknown substance that we don't know what it was doing. Not to mention the fact that he had these like Swedish wingman just like coming in and be like, "Hey, yeah, here's your banging robes, man. Here's the special tea." Like just like here, get on in there. He had the old lady pushing his
Ah,
hips from behind.
ah.
Like that like the dude really didn't deserve this. Um,
You don't think he
but
deserved to burn alive in a bear suit?
I mean, here's the thing. It was probably the best thing for him. Uh,
At
it's
this point.
probably like honestly, it's a cool way to go out. So like there's worse ways to die. I mean, you could have
Uh,
been flayed alive and had flowers stuck in your eyes. You at least get to go out as a bear.
that's
So,
true. It's one of the most ferocious of the
do you
forest.
want to be do you want to be the scarecrow? Do you want to be
No,
Josh who's been planted in the garden? Do you want to be just a
no,
plant?
no.
No? Yeah, I didn't think so. You want to be the bear.
I want to
Do
be
you
the
want
dude
to
that
be
gets.
the two idiotic dudes that just volunteered themselves to get burned alive and thought that like a little
No.
bit of yew tree sap was gonna just like make it make the pain go away?
Dude, I forgot about that on this watching, and I was like, oh, at least they get like a numbing agent, and then he catches
Nope,
on fire and screams, and I was
they
like,
do
oh,
not.
wait!
Placebo effect didn't work that time.
No.
Okay,
And
it
his
did
buddy was like,
not
oh,
work that
crap.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Um so no, I did like it. And I thought there was like tons of it was just a really, really well done movie. I did like I said at the beginning, the fact that they did it just in daylight was just really really impressive, and I
Yeah.
think it kind of helped make it more eerie where it's almost like that's another one of my issues with horror movies is sometimes they can just be like you can't even really tell what's going on. It's just so much like quick camera work and so much splashing blood and all this stuff where it's just like okay, I can't even tell what's happening right now. But this it's like you're forced to watch a man and a woman just jump off of a cliff onto their death.
Yeah.
And then I did have a little bit of an issue. I thought that the Gallagher head smashing hammer was a little bit cartoonish. I was like, you could have made that look a little bit more ceremonial, made it look a
True.
little bit. It's fucking Vikings, man. You got cool war hammers, and you're ending people with this like Tom and Jerry ass looking thing. Like that's what we're doing. And then the other thing that just like this was a line that kind of infuriated me.
Okay.
Like it was when so there's obviously the main group that we're following there, and then there's other two people from London that came with the other Swedish guy. Um, and they're naturally freaking out when they see a woman willingly plunged to her death and then a man get his head smashed like a watermelon. So they're having some issues, and their friend that brought them says, "I'm sorry I didn't warn you better." And it's like
Uh,
yeah, you like, oh, you're sorry you didn't warn me better about like the ceremonial death ritual that we're gonna go to. I thought I was gonna go have like a good time in Sweden. We're gonna go do some mushrooms in a field, and then the next thing I know, like people are just like jumping off cliffs. Like we're doing like waterless cliffs dives. Like I feel like the head smashing hammer should have at least been brought up like at the airport. Like you
yeah,
got like
yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit of heads up. Just be like, hey, just so you know,
It's called
it's
common
it's like
courtesy.
it's like inviting me to a funeral for your grandpa, and like item one on the agenda is dinner. Item two on the agenda, kill grandpa. Like this
Yeah.
is like it's not the party that I thought I was coming to.
Well, it's the party we got.
That's the party we got.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Are you done
that
with it?
was um let me see. I don't know. There's yeah, there it was just there was um lots of stuff that was just like really freakily well done in this
Mhm.
movie. Like there was one thing that I did want to comment. There was a musical transition from whenever they have like finished the ceremony and they're getting prepared for like the final fire ceremony and everything, and it's this like kind of like peaceful and like happy music, and then the camera is transitioning through the whole commune, and they get to the point where they're dissecting the bear to put Christian in, and like as it goes in there, it just the notes change. It's like the same instrumentation, but
Yeah.
it just gets sinister, and yeah, like it was just really really well done. Now, the other musical thing that I didn't really appreciate, the lady soloing next to them while they're just doing it, that was another thing that I like audibly laughed at. Where she like he's just like, okay, I'm going in, goes in, he's super nervous, and then all of a sudden this lady just comes in and is like, oh, and it's like, whoa, man, like that's a boner killer right there.
Right.
For me, that would throw me out of the mood, but I don't know. They got the job done, I guess.
Yeah.
So
You can't hate on it if it got done.
yeah, and uh, for Danny, it's like I guess uh, burning your ex boy or your cheating boyfriend in like a Swedish death ritual is pretty good revenge. I mean,
Some would say the
like
best.
it's one way to get back at your ex. So
All right, man. Well, for this movie, look, I feel like this is gonna draw some hate. I'm up there, man. I'm at a 4.5. I love this movie. I will watch it again this year, probably. It is long. You kind of have to be in the mood for it. That's one of the things.
it's you
Uh,
definitely if you're gonna do it in one sitting, you have to plan for it. You
you gotta
can't
be
you can't
ready.
just be like, what movie are we throwing on tonight? Ooh, let's do. It's like this one's a commitment, but
Right,
it is
right.
worth the commitment if you're in for it.
And now I gotta know, what do you got?
I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. This one is good. It did drag a little bit, and uh, there were some things that I think could have been tweaked to do better. But overall, this was a really enjoyable watch. It
Okay.
made up for street trash. That's for sure. So
All right, man, you gotta quit hating on street trash, man.
it's a nice chaser after the Bacardi 151 shot that was street trash.
The original.
Never doing that again.
Okay, so we want to try a little game, right? It's called Can You Survive the Movie? Uh, we did survive the movie.
Name is pending. Yes, we
You're
did
right.
survive.
But we want to know, Steven, do you think you could survive the Viper? Would you drink of the Viper? Would you be tempted in
I don't think I
1987 street
would.
trash?
Um,
You think
nah,
you would just
I'm more of a vodka kind of guy, so really any dark liquors aren't gonna be my thing. That's probably one that I would have stayed away from. And then also the just old dusty packaging. I doubt that I would have bought it. I need a little bit more presentation on the shelves,
okay,
dress it up a bit.
okay, all right. Um, Honestly, man, I also would not partake of the Viper. There's no way. There's no way that I would ever do that. It's crazy. And yeah, $1 liquor. $1 liquor doesn't do it for me. So yeah.
Like you gotta
Hey,
twist my
you know
arm to do a
what?
fireball shot
I
at this
think
point. So
on honestly, I think if we were like 21, then maybe the rules change. Do you survive the Viper if somebody gives you dollar liquor?
if somebody gives it to me, like that's another question. Depends on who gives it to me. If it's
That's
the
fair.
Asian lady, I'm probably dead. If it's Bowl Cut Gollum, nope.
Okay, okay. So then we transition on to I don't know, man. Do you think you could survive the Rat King of
Hell
1987?
no. Not unless I have one of his grenades or one of those like Venom
You
Tom
don't
cocktails.
you don't have like any way that you would fight the Rat King?
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like I could outrun him because he's pretty lumbering. So I
Uh,
feel like I would have a better chance of outrunning him even in the labyrinth that was that junkyard. Um,
People tried to
I
run
don't.
from him.
Yeah,
They
I
tried.
feel like I feel like I have a better sense of direction than these drunken homeless people, and I could probably at least get out of his turf. And
Um,
I never see the Rat King stray from the borders uh, of his turf. Like the only time I see him outside of the junkyard is the one time when he smashes a dude's head through a window, and then he's hiding from the cops. So I feel like if
so
I can get out of the junkyard, I'll be okay. But if it's just me and him in the octagon, no, he's probably
no
gonna rip
way.
out my femur and stab it through my back,
For that one,
all while
dude.
thinking I'm a Viet Cong. I
Dude,
look nothing like a Viet Cong.
dude, you'll be getting the fatality then, man. I'm gonna be
He's just gonna be
honest,
like Charlie.
dude. If I heard him, the one time that I hear the scream, man, I'm not going back. There's not a
Yeah,
chance. It
no,
doesn't take
we're gonna
anything else
outrun
from
him.
me, dude. So I think I'm getting away. I'm not going over there. I'm legitimately,
Yeah, no, I mean
le-
I'm not
legitimately.
either.
Yeah.
So
All right.
all right.
So I kind of wondered about the 2024 one
Mhm.
because like really the Rat King is not that much of a threat here. I mean, she's got like people that'll come after you type deal, but every time they come after somebody, they punk out.
They're easily tricked.
Right. And I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like
There's just
Boner
no
Cop.
follow through with that crew.
Yeah. But could Boner Cop catch you?
No, I don't think so. He seems too bumbling as well. And I
Too
wouldn't get
bumbling?
as easily distracted by the drug dealer society. I feel
You don't
like
think so?
no. I feel like I would avoid him actually.
Okay. We'll give you the flawless victory on this one.
All right.
I think I'm dead. I think if I I think I would be so shocked of what's going on that I'd be trying to tell him that I'm not homeless. He wouldn't be listening. He'd be running at me with a boner. I'm trying to get away.
And you would
Uh,
say something smart.
yeah, I'm gonna say something. So I don't think it's gonna work out for me. I think it's
Yeah.
over.
Damn.
Mo- I
Sorry to hear
mean,
about that.
not. Hey, dude, it's some people's time. It is some people's time, and that time it was my time. So for Midsummer, I mean,
So what do we do? Are
I
we surviving the festival?
okay. How about this? You're a traveler, aren't you?
A little bit. I've been some places.
If all of you and your traveling buddies from your job were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Sweden this year," would you go?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sweden's on my list.
Okay.
So this movie has not deterred me at all from visiting Sweden.
But now that you're visiting Sweden, you're gonna be at the festival. Do you think you're surviving?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I think I might actually
Okay. Let's hear it.
be able to survive.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Here's my analysis. I would be able to ingratiate myself with these people pretty quickly. Um, they're also a fair-skinned group of folks. They love the outdoors and the rolling fields and the mountains,
Right.
and that's the kind of stuff I vibe with. So if you pull me onto a field and you're like, "Hey, man, we're doing mushrooms," I'm like, "Sweet, let's go." And so I'm going to be ingratiated into this community very, very quickly. I also know not to mess around with customs of foreign communities. You don't go
Okay.
peeing on sacred trees. You don't go
That's
like
true.
taking pictures of books you're not supposed to take pictures of. Uh, I have a little bit of a rascal inside of me that will do things that I'm told not to do from time to time. But if I am coming into this environment, there's no way that we are disrespecting any of the customs. I'm giving these people no reason to view me as a sacrifice. So the only way that I am dying is if I'm already a pre-sacrifice and they've already decided it from whenever
I
I'm coming.
think I want to say that was part of it though, is that
So
whether they
here's the
did
thing.
that stuff or not, they were going to be sacrificed.
So what you're saying is I have to become the May Queen.
Yeah,
That's my only option, huh?
that's your only option, man.
So you're saying a drug-induced dance-a-thon is the only thing that's
Yes.
going to get me out of this. I think I still got it, honestly.
Are are you someone
I
that
do. I
goes
do
up
the
though?
music festivals every New Year's. We're used to these
Are you
long
a
long dance-a-thons. I think I'm
can you
good.
okay. On
And
okay.
and then
I
here's
don't
the thing.
know.
Will I meet my demise ultimately? Yes, but it will be whenever I jump from the cliff in ceremony.
Oh,
So yes,
okay.
we're becoming a part of this group,
We're in it
joining
then.
my own little Waco family.
It's a victory for me, man. I'll be honest with you.
I did appreciate the Waco reference whenever they first come in. So Mark's got his comedic relief line
Yeah,
down.
I'm I have friends that travel all the time. Uh, it's too much work. If somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go to Sweden this summer?" I'll just be like, "No, that's gonna be really cool for you, though. That is gonna be really cool for you." So, I mean, and that's how I've lived my life for years. So I don't see
Yeah,
it changing, man.
it's all good. All right.
I'm
Well, hey,
in. I'm
you're at
in.
least gonna survive. The only thing you got to dodge is a crazy American girlfriend instead of you don't have to worry about the pies over in.
Oh, you should cut that
To
out.
put that on a
I,
tapestry is wild.
okay. Don't edit that out, bro.
Okay.
To people where I live.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Brett,
it's wild.
you're surviving via proxy, and then I
Via
am
proxy.
surviving via mushrooms or whatever they're doing there. So
Yeah.
I think midsummer we're gonna come out, you know, smelling like the wildflowers they were picking.
Well, you're not coming out of there. According to yours, you are there forever.
But we're happy,
No,
we're having fun.
yeah,
We're having a good old
yeah,
time.
that's not that
Who
bad.
knows?
Could be
Maybe
worse.
someday I'll get to go out on my pilgrimage.
Uh, they probably wouldn't let you do that, dude.
Oh no, I have to stay there and bang all the Swedish women.
Um, all right. Well, with that being said, man, it's been fun. I mean, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll tell y'all what we do with this next week. I've got a little screening that I'm going to tomorrow, so we'll work out one of the other two movies. Most of the time we'll just be doing two, but it was easy enough to throw in a third one this time. So yeah, man, you
Yeah.
got anything?
Name. Do all the things like liking and subscribing and following our social media stuff because we're doing this podcast thing. This is the inaugural episode. If you're watching this, you know you were here for the beginning of whatever this ends up being. But yeah,
Right. Well, man, thank y'all for joining us on Horror and the Hater. We'll catch you later.